Hey guys, welcome to EduTap. I hope each of you is happy, healthy, and fine and taking very good care of yourself. I'm your mentor Veer, and I welcome you all in lecture 36 on government schemes. So, without wasting any time, let's get started. Guys, if you are new here, you can subscribe our YouTube channel where you can find the daily updated videos on the different courses that we are offering. Moreover, guys, if you want to download the free PDF material, you can check out our Telegram group, the link of which you can find in the description box. Now, guys, I would like to share with you the smiling points of EduTap, that is our results. Guys, we have consistently produced highest result across India in the RBI grade B, the NABARD grade A, as well as SEBI grade A. You can check out the toppers strategy over our YouTube channel, guys. Now I would like to share with you the courses that we are offering at EduTap. Guys, we are offering courses in the RBI grade B, the NABARD grade A, as well as grade B, and the SEBI grade A. Moreover, guys, we are also offering a course in the UPSC EPFO. All the details you can access directly to the link provided in the description box. You just have to click it. So guys, that is all about our offering at the moment. Don't miss out the opportunity. Use it wisely. So guys, now it's time to start our video of the day, or the scheme that we're going to start today is a scheme for formation and promotion of farmer produce organization. So guys, this is a newly launched scheme, or better say it was announced in the budget of 2019 and came into the picture in the month of February 2020. So what it is, let's see the final details of the scheme. So coming to the dimensions that we're gonna cover up, guys, and accordingly we will cover up the scheme. So the first dimension is the launching year of this particular scheme. So as I said, this scheme was launched in the year 2020. It was highlighted in the budget of 2019. Then its nodal ministry is the Ministry of Agriculture, and the implementing agency of this particular scheme is the Small Farmer Agriculture Business Consortium, SFAC, the National Cooperative Development Corporation, NCDC, National Bank for Agriculture and Rural Development, NABARD, and National Agriculture Cooperative Marketing Federation of India, in short known as NAFED. So guys, these are the implementing agencies. Now coming to the name of the scheme. So guys, if you go with the name of the scheme, it has something to do with the formation and promotion of farmer produce organizations. So this particular scheme, which was launched in the year of 2020 and comes under Ministry of Agriculture and implemented by these four agencies, has something to do with the promotion as well as formation of farmer produce organization. So let us see what is the objective of this scheme. Its aim is to provide holistic supportive ecosystem to form new 10,000 farmer produce organization over a period of 5 years, that is from 2019 to 24. Then the second objective is to provide hand-holding and support to the newly formed FPOs for the next 5 years. So the first objective of this scheme is that new FPOs will be formed, okay, and for the next 5 years we will provide support to the newly FPOs that have been already formed. Okay, so first we will form and then we will provide the additional support. So this is the objective of this particular scheme. So guys, till now what we have covered the following dimensions. One, the ministry, the launching year, we can say also the implementing agency, and the objective of this particular scheme. Now you can see the funding, that is almost 4,500 crore has been allocated for first 5 years, that is from the year 2019 to 24, and for the second component, that is providing support to the farm produce organization that have been formed, almost 2,400 crore has been allocated for a period of next 4 years. Okay, so this is about the objective of the scheme. We are establishing the new farm produce organizations, and then we are also providing them the support so that they can become we can say they can become stable or they can grow. So these are the dimensions that we have covered till now, including the objective. Now let us see what are the key features of this particular scheme. So Department of Agriculture and Cooperative and Farmer Welfare within the Ministry of Agriculture will first of all forms the cluster or states, he will define the clusters and states and allocate the respective clusters and state to the respective implementing agency. There are 4 implementing agencies. We have discussed those 4 in the first slides. So we will not repeat those names again and again. So first, the Department of Farmer Welfare within the Agriculture Ministry will define the clusters as well as states and allocate those clusters and states to the respective implementing agencies. Then these implementing agencies will form cluster based business organization. What these cluster based business organization? Now our implementing agency has got a cluster to operate. So within that they will appoint certain specialized agencies, and those specialized agencies are known as cluster based business organization, and these business organizations will cater to the needs of farm produce organizations. Okay, so how this scheme is implemented, we have seen this, and these will be the organization that will cater to the needs of FPOs regarding each and every aspect, their management related issues, their marketing, whatever the issues, these are the organization that will cater to that needs. Okay, so this is how the government is implementing this particular scheme, that is the formation and promotion of farm produce organization. Then the minimum number of members in the FPO will be 300 in plains and 100 in the northeastern hilly states. At least 50% of the targeted FPOs would be in the aspirational districts, and they have to cover each and every block of these aspirational districts. Then there will be a credit guarantee facility of up to 2 crore of the project loan, credit guarantee fund of rupees 1000 crore that has been established by NABARD as well as the Department of Agriculture, Cooperative and Farmer Welfare with equal contribution. Similarly, a credit guarantee fund will be established at NCDC. FPOs will be promoted under one district, one product. Then there will be a equity grant for FPOs subjected to a maximum of rupees 15 lakh. So these are the key features of this particular scheme. But the thing is, guys, you might be wondering what these FPOs are. We are from the beginning discussing a scheme that has been promoting the formation of these FPOs. But what are the FPOs? We have discussed the scheme in entirety. We have covered all the dimensions. First, the launching year, then the nodal ministry, then the implementing agencies. We have covered the, we can say, objective of the scheme, funding pattern, as well as the key feature. Even we have discussed how these FPOs have been formed. That is from the department responsible to the implementing agencies and the cluster based business organizations. So, but now it's time to discuss what these FPOs are. So guys, that was the entire detail about the scheme, how the FPOs have been formed or what are the promotion facilities have been available. We have discussed those, and a question can be framed from that aspect. This scheme basically deals with establishing 10,000 FPOs all across India. Okay, and NAFED, the fourth implementing agency, has been included very recently, especially dealing with the honey mission. We can say honey mission, guys, that basically deals with the FPOs that will deal in the honey. Okay, so now it's time to discuss what these FPOs are. Farm Produce Organization, or they are also known as Farm Produce Companies. So companies, guys, why I'm telling you this in the scheme section is because this Farm PO is quite relevant, especially for the NABARD exam, and they can even ask in the RBI as well. So what do you mean by a Farm Produce Organization or a company? Guys, basically this is just like a company, that is not just like a Reliance company or exactly like that, but the difference is in certain characteristics. So this company either has to register at the Companies Act or under the Societies Act of the respective states. So just like a normal company, you will have to register your FPO. Okay, then the main thing is the members of this company are actually the producers. Producer, that means the farmers, and not only farmers can form FPOs, even artisans. Fishermen, they can also form FPOs. The word farmer nothing means that only farmers who cater to the commodities like vegetables and fruits or horticulture, they can. Even the artisans, the fishermen, they can also form a company which will be known as FPOs. So why we are forming an FPO is basically that, suppose guys, this will bring the power of the scale to the hand of the farmer. For example, suppose there is a farmer who is producing 10 tons of rice, and there is this company, maybe take an example of Ashirwad. So only with 10 tons, what a farmer will do? What is about his bargaining power? Do you really think that a company like Ashirwad will deal with him properly? But suppose 300 farmers join their hands to form a FPO or a company. Now this Ashirwad company has to deal with 3,000 tons of rice. Now this is the power of the scale, and that's why the government wants to form FPOs. So guys, what is the role of these implementing agencies? You are forming a FPO, but what they cater to? So guys, these implementing agencies will not only provide them technical support but also bear certain expenses, like as it is a natural company registered under the Companies Act or the respective Societies Act. So there has to be a CEO, there has to be directors. The salary of this CEO will be borne by the NABARD or the SFAC. Okay. Moreover guys, they will provide equity support as well from 5 lakh to 15 lakh, and these FPOs won't have to pay this back, nor they have to give the interest nor the principal. So moreover, they will also get a credits. If you check out the credit guarantee of up to 2 crore per project. Okay. Moreover guys, there are other advantages, not only the power of the scale, but there is also, suppose in a village earlier farmers have to take care of their own, but now there is a company who will take care of their particular needs. Suppose there is a farmer who is borrowing machines on rent for some harvesting or something like that. So now these machines can be used by entire company and the cost will be very minimal. Okay, so this is what these farm produce organizations are. Okay, now let me tell you one more thing guys, just let me erase it. One second. So how these farm produce organizations will perform like a company, and how they help with the growth of a farmer. So guys, one second. So we have discussed about the basic features of these farm produce organization. Now let me tell you what is the advantage of this farm produce organization as a company. So guys, this organization or this company has a characteristic of a hybrid. Hybrid in the sense that it has a characteristic of a cooperative society as well, and it also has a characteristic of a private entity. Cooperative society in the sense because all the profit that has been generated by the farm produce organization will be distributed along in equality across all the members of the FPO. So all the benefits will be passed on to all the members. So in that terms, it is a cooperative society. How a private entity? So when you are establishing a company and there will be a proper CEO, directors, so it will bring in the efficiency, profitability of the private sector. There will be a proper CEO, there have to be proper directors, and this FPO needs to have at least 3 directors, and from 3 to 15 as per the Companies Act, they can have the respective numbers of directors. Initially, there will be support of each and every aspect like marketing, technical support, training to these FPOs by the respective implementing agencies. So, guys, these are the benefits of FPOs, and how the government is promoting the formation of these FPO is through that particular scheme. For now, for the next 5 years, government has taken a target of establishing 10,000 FPOs. This was announced in the budget of 2019. So, guys, that is all that I want to mention about this particular scheme. So now let's revise before we start the MCQs. What we have learned, we have discussed about the FPOs, what they are. They are actually the real companies registered under the Companies Act or the respective society act of the states as well. These under this scheme, the government wants to establish 10,000 FPOs all across the India. Ministry of Agriculture is the nodal agency, and under that there is a department who will define the clusters and the states and allot those clusters and the state to the respective implementing agencies. There are 4 implementing agencies, and those implementing agencies will establish the cluster based organization who will cater to the each and every need of these FPOs. Moreover, guys, I think I mentioned here that equity support. This support, they will provide the financial support as well. Implementing agencies will provide financial support for the not only for the first 3 years, but also they can provide it. They can extend it to the next 5 years, which was also a part of the scheme. We have seen that. So I think that is all about this particular scheme and FPO section. It was important because it can be asked in the NABARD exam as well as RBI exam, and it is also a recently launched scheme. So cater. So we have discussed this in entirety. Now coming to the MCQ part, guys. You have seen that there is not much to discuss in the MCQs. So the first is the scheme was launched in the year 2020, and the background is it was announced in the budget of 2019. Then the implementing agencies, there are 4 implementing agencies: SFCA, NABARD, NCDC and NAFED. This is the recently added component. Basically, to cater the FPOs in the honey sector, honey production and all those, production, marketing and all those. So NAFED was added recently, very recently it has been added. So a question can be asked on this particular aspect as well. And whereas the nodal ministry is, the answer is Ministry of Agriculture. Then the target under the scheme, target is to establish how many number of FPOs? The answer is 10,000. Then the credit guarantee fund under NABARD. Guys, my point of adding this question was that question can be asked on any of the aspect of the key feature that we have mentioned in that particular slide while discussing discussing about the scheme. So it is one such component. The other could be that under this formation and promotion of FPOs scheme, how much of credit guarantee will be provided per project? The answer will be 2 crore. But for this, the answer is 1,000 crore. So question can be asked, as I was telling, my point here is that they can ask a question on any of the feature of the scheme which we have already discussed. Not only they can change the name of NABARD, they can change it to NCDC. So there is a separate credit guarantee fund under NCDC which is of 500 crore. No worries, I have mentioned that in the key features. You can refer that. Okay, you will get the PDF. Okay. Now funding under the scheme is almost 4,500 crore for a period from 2019 till 24. Okay, and there is also an additional fund of around 2,400 crore. I am just writing the approximate figure from the period of 23 say 28. That means for the next 5 years. So the FPOs that have been formed in the first 5 years will get a benefit or a supporting head for the next 5 years. So this is the scheme in entirety. So guys, I hope you have understood the scheme for promotion and the formation of FPOs. That is the scheme in entirety. So guys, now coming to your homework question. This is an important point, guys. The National Level Project Management Advisory and Fund Sanctioning Committee. So first thing is what this committee is, or what is the role of this committee, and who is this committee to allocate some number of FPOs cluster for the particular year for the to the implementing agencies. From the beginning we are talking about that this particular department was responsible for allotting the clusters. Then how come this sanctioning committee came into the picture? So guys, this is your homework question that you need to read what this committee has to do with this particular scheme. My hint is this committee comes under this organization, okay, and the secretary of this organization is the chairman of this committee. So I think that hint is enough. And the next question is, or the answer of the question that you have to write in the comment section is that this committee has recently allocated how many number of FPOs to the respective implementing agencies for the particular year. Okay, because these kind of questions can be asked in the phase 2 of our exam. There may be a passage question. First question may be on the objective or the implementing agency. The next question could be on the recent current affairs, and this is one of such important current affair, that how many FPOs have been allocated recently to the all the implementing agencies under this particular scheme. So first we need to read about this committee, and then we have to write the answer in the comment box of this particular question. So guys, that is your homework question. Please take the homework question very seriously. In the last video we haven't seen much of the participation by you, which is really discouraging, though you are appreciating our efforts continuously. But guys, please take the homework question very seriously. So guys, in the last video I asked you that instead of going for the homework question, please mention the name of the scheme that you want me to cover up. For now I haven't seen much of the reply from your side, so again I want to repeat that in the previous video you can check out in the playlist section. Please make the answer, make write your opinion regarding the scheme which you want me to cover up. Please mention the name of the scheme, because it is not clear, Shubham, if you want me to cover the Seva Bhoj scheme. So please mention the name of the scheme very specifically, and I will take that scheme in the week from 17th to 24th of Jan. Okay, in this week I will try to take the scheme that we will post in the comment section. So guys, that's why commenting is really important. Though you are appreciating our efforts, which is really encouraging, but guys, the answer to the homework question as well as your suggestions and the feedback are also important. So guys, that's all from my side. If you like the video, please do give a thumbs up, do subscribe to our channel and share it with your friends. For now, I am your mentor Veer, signing off.